Hello everyone and welcome to my training on OpNav Instruction 1710.7 Alpha, Social Usage and Protocol Manual. This video will cover invitations, seating, receptions, and dining. First we'll talk about precedence. Precedence means the order in which people will be seated or introduced. Generally, if we're talking about the military, it's going to be based on military rank. For officers, if you have multiple people of the same rank, you're going to put them in order of the date of attainment. So if somebody became an admiral in 2003 and someone else became an admiral in 2005, the person that became an admiral in 2003 is going to go first. When you have different components, you're going to seat the active duty of that rank first, followed by the reservists, then followed by the retired personnel. Also, a special note, if you have multiple Medal of Honor recipients at the same event, you are going to seat them by any arrangement other than by rank. The reason for that is it's the opinion of the Congressional Medal of Honor Society and most recipients that once they have received the Medal of Honor, rank doesn't really matter. They all consider themselves of equal rank. So you can rank them by age, by the date they received their Medal of Honor, or pretty much any other system but rank. If you have people that don't hold official positions, you're going to consider their prominence within their own career areas. So if you have the nation's top infectious disease expert, then they're going to be considered like a 4-star admiral. If you have someone that is very prominent in their career but isn't considered one of the top ones, you're going to rank them towards the middle. Our next section is invitations. There are 5 types of invitations: fully engraved, semi-engraved, computer-generated, handwritten, and a phone call followed by a to-remind card. So first we have the fully engraved. Fully engraved means that the entire thing was printed as is from an engraver shop. It's the fanciest, the most expensive, and it's only going to be used in the highest ranking, most formal of events. This is the basic layout of any invitation, no matter what type it is. You're going to have the occasion on the top, you're going to have the pennant, you're going to have who is the host, and then it always says request the pleasure of your company at, and then what type of event it is, on the date, at what time, then the location. In the bottom left you will have the RSVP information, and on the bottom right you're going to have the uniform. You also have semi-engraved invitations. Those are invitations that are pre-printed with the engraving of everything you see on here that's highlighted in yellow. And then the admin personnel are going to print or handwrite all of the information for that specific event. Then you also have handwritten invitations. These are pre-printed little cards that just have the standard crest on there, and then everything is handwritten in. And then the last one, you have the to-remind card. So in this circumstance, the host or their assistants will be calling people to invite them and getting a yes or no whether they're going to come, and then you're going to mail this off, basically reminding them of the event. So the only main difference between an invitation and a to-remind card is on the bottom left. You'll see it says instead of the RSVP information, it has just to remind written in there. Once you get to the event, they're going to be seated. So seating arrangements are very important. The primary concern is going to be that you have a seating arrangement that will be enjoyable for everyone. It is important to consider rank when setting up seating, but you also want to maybe mix up the group to create an environment that is interesting and enjoyable for everyone and allow them to have conversations. Spouses who do not hold an official position will be seated according to the rank of their husband or wife. This is often preferable to seat husbands and wives separately so that they can talk with people they maybe don't see all the time. But sometimes husbands and wives are more comfortable seated together. So you really got to take into consideration your audience and the type of event it is. Guests of honor are usually the highest ranking person. Occasionally, you will have guests that outrank the guest of honor. When this occurs, there's a couple of different options you have when you're considering seating. You can place the guest of honor in the top position and then just go by rank after that. Or you can sit the guests strictly by rank and just bear in mind that the guest of honor might be well down the table. Or you can make the highest ranking guest the co-host or co-hostess, and then you can still put the guest of honor in the honored position. Now we're going to talk about different types of events and what's expected at them. First, you have the most formal dining, and those tend to commence at 8 or 8:30. That's of important note. I've actually seen a similar thing asked in a test, so it's something you should bear in mind. Generally, this is a black tie and occasionally white tie event. At these events, oftentimes, each man is provided with the name of his dinner partner, whom he will escort to her place at the table. Normally, he takes the woman who sits on his right. If it's a small event, the co-host or hostess may just let the person know who they are escorting when they get here. At larger, more formal events, they may have a table that has cards laid out, and the person will come up to the table and pick their card, and on the back of it, it will have the name of the person they will be escorting to the table. Receptions tend to happen from 6 to 8 o'clock, and they frequently honor a visiting official or celebrate some type of event. Afternoon or early evening receptions are generally considered informal as far as clothing is concerned. So we've talked about dress codes a little bit, so I wanted to give you guys some idea of what that means. White tie is the most formal event attire. Military are going to wear formal dress uniforms. Civilian women will wear a very formal gown, and civilian men will wear white tie, which you can Google it and see what it looks like. You can also see a picture up there that I've placed. Black tie is still formal, but less so than white tie, and so military will be wearing seasonal dress, dinner dress uniforms. Civilian women, long formal gowns, and civilian men will wear black tie also or a tuxedo. Informal is still dressy. Civilian men and women will wear the appropriate service dress uniform. Civilian women will wear street length or informal long dresses as current styles dictate, and civilian men can wear business suits. Lastly, I wanted to touch on the POW MIA table. As many of you know, it's a small table at the front of the mess that has been placed there in honor of our POWs and MIAs. Here I've kind of listed off all of the required pieces for the POW table and what they symbolize. And I'm going to go ahead and stop this video here. I wanted to make these videos in small 10-minute increments so that you guys don't get overwhelmed by the amount of information you're given in each video. My next video will cover ship, and other ceremonies.